Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is the second session of Master Kane Raukura online, here for Dragon Spirit students, but also for anyone else who wants to join in. So today, what have we got in store? So we are going to do a little bit of a brief warm-up in the lovely outside dojang, and wherever your outside dojang is. We are going to have a look at some hand parts. We are going to have a look at circular lock, Dolomia Maki, and with the bag over here, we are going to look at back piercing kick, Dricha Jirigi. After we've finished those things for today, I'm also going to post a Tabata session. So I hope that you're ready to do some exercise, to get involved and to have a little bit of fun. So look, without further ado, let's get started with today's class. Wherever you are on day one of lockdown, we're in this together. So keep smiling, keep being patient with your loved ones at home. It's not easy being cooped up inside the house, but remember, we're all in the same boat. So it's some deep breaths, it's being calm. Taekwondo is a wonderful way of releasing stress and being able to be together but not together. So remember, train hard. This is your dojang. Don't forget, I'm watching. I know where you live. See you soon. Okay, folks, let's get going. So let's start our class. Did it? Continue. All right, just lightly jogging on the spot like we did the other day. Just get the body ready for some exercise. Just get those shoulders rotating forward a little bit. So shoulders forward, shoulders back. If you're like me, you might have arms across. If you're like me, you might have been stuck at the desk working from home. It's hard sitting in a chair for a long period of time. Same as if you're a student as well, you might have been sitting at home, change arms, and also stuck, at that kitchen table trying to do your schoolwork. So it's not easy. Make sure you do get up and stretch your legs often. Right arm behind. So it's a good idea to get up, walk around, have a little bit of a break about every 20 minutes, half an hour, stretch those legs, change arms. If you're a black stripe getting ready for your first dan grading, you can drop down and do a plank. There's lots of things you can do your push-ups. So try to insert Taekwondo into your day, wherever you might be. So doing lunges or, down the hallway as you go to the toilet, lots of things you can do. Put our wrist backs again, just rotating the wrist joints. So inwards first and change direction. So we go the other way. Very good, right arm round. Good long swings of your arm. And other way. Good, left arm round. Make sure you do good full circles, don't cut it short. Do good circles the other way. Whole arm, not your elbow joint. Very good, both arms forward. And both arms back. And for the students with good coordination, one arm back, one arm forward. And change the other way. Very good, right leg back, just bouncing lightly. Follow along with me, come on, you're warming up with me. Front snap kick, hana, do, set, net, taso, yosu, ugo, yaru, aho, yo, and do, set, net, taso, yosu, ugo, yaru, aho, yo, good, pro. Give it a shake, right ankle joint. Other way. It's not going to take very long for me to get warm on my deck today. You can see the sun shining today. Other way. Very good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give it another nice little shake. Getting ready for exercise. Big circles. Hana. Do, set, change, hana, do, set, net, tassel. Good, relax. Good, right leg behind. Don't do too much static stretching at the beginning. I just find just some real quick ones are good just for loosening up my joints a bit. Not really my muscles, it's getting my joints moving. You find that when you get a little bit older, the joints don't want to cooperate either. So we're just here, just flexing my joints, my knee joint especially, getting ready for some good extension. Good, that feels a bit better. Find a wall. If you haven't got a wall, just find a little bit of a spot. Okay, step back, walking ready stance, and just some light leg raises. So we're going to start with front leg raise, up to oligi. Remember, we try to keep the leg as straight as possible without bending the knee, and we stay in our walking ready stance, and we land in a walking ready stance. So we go 1, 2, start easy and slowly add it up. Set, net, dos, dos, go, set, change legs, other side, hana, do, set, net, dos, yes, go, and good, give it a shake again. Nice and warm out here today, won't take long. Very good. Okay, now let's do some side leg raises. Find something to hold on to, either the wall, post. Don't make marks on your mum's wallpaper. Kitchen table is good too. Okay, so ready, we're going to do our left leg first. Take our supporting foot, point it towards the wall. The hand can just be here lightly. Don't let it take all of your weight. Try to get used to just doing it without support. So we're here, hana, do, set, net, tasu, yasu, yo, yaru, a hop, yo, change sides. Just going to turn my back to you. Hana, do, set, net, tasu, yasu, yoga, yaru, a hop, yo. Good. Relax again. And pro. Okay. Gonna pause it right now, just for 60 seconds or so. You can pause as long as you need to. Okay, and just stretch out, do anything that you need to loosen up your joints before we move on to our next exercise. Gonna come back, we're gonna look at hand parts. We're then gonna do our circular block, talk about some intricate matters around the circular block, because a lot of people have lots of misunderstandings there. And then back piece and kick, Dritcha Jiriki. Okay, 60 seconds, pause, stretch out anything that you need to stretch out to be ready to go. Pause. Okay, so for the first part of our lesson today, we're going to talk about some hand parts. So we have these tools that we use in Taekwondo, which we call our attacking tools or our blocking tools. So our hands are, I guess, one of our primary attacking tools that we have in Taekwondo. A lot of our techniques are based around our hands. When you first join, you were probably quite young. As you've gotten older and stuck with Taekwondo, or even if you started later, one of the very first things that you were taught to do was to make a proper fist. So you were told that you needed to close your hand and take your fingers, roll your fingers clenched into your fists, and then take your thumb, so your thumb is parallel with the bottom part of your fingers there, okay? We then flatten the top of the wrist, so the top of the forearm and the top of the fist is flat. If I point my fist towards you, you can see that the top of my fist and the top of the forearm forms a straight line to the two foreknuckles. So let's talk about this first. Okay, we have what's called a forefist. When we talk about the forefist, we're not talking about the whole fist. We're talking about these two foreknuckles which make a horizontal line, okay, to your forearm, which then feeds into your shoulder, that then feeds into your center of mass. So when we strike, we want the energy to be transferred, okay, or the power to be transferred back into that arm and into that shoulder joint and into that body mass so that we're square and solid. If the wrist is slightly bent at all or angled upwards, then the energy can't transfer properly from me into the opponent. Instead, I get this terrible feedback back into my joints. And the angle is incorrect. So I could break my wrist up or down, or I could break my wrist to the left or to the right. It also means that I may use the wrong part of my hand. So if I use my little knuckles, more than likely these will break or shatter, or my the bones behind my two little knuckles will shatter as well. Okay, it's a common injury. If you're a policeman going to a fight or breaking a fight up and you want to know who was the instigator of the fight, who's been fighting, often you can look at the hands, and as well as cuts, you'll often see breaks in funny places because they don't punch straight or don't feed the power directly back up into that shoulder joint. So we've got the forefist, these two foreknuckles. So when we do push-ups on the ground, it's the same. We want these two foreknuckles to be placed on the ground. We don't want our fist to lay flat on the ground. That means that our wrist will be bent as we're trying to do our push-up. So we want it to be nice and straight, foreknuckle to wrist, to elbow, to shoulder, okay, to your body mass. So we stay nice and straight as we do our push-up and pushing down on those two foreknuckles. Now, the reason why we do foreknuckle push-ups, okay, is because we're doing dalion or conditioning. We're trying to condition the tool so that if we do strike with it, the tool doesn't break, but instead whatever it strikes breaks. So we might do a session on dalion a little bit later on, maybe in the series, but more really it's for people who are more 18 years plus, because for younger people, the striking on the young bones is not a good idea. So it's something that we do a little bit later. Our hands are made up of more than just one tool. So I'd like to talk about a couple of others. Okay, the knife hand. Okay, so in our first lesson on Monday, we talked about side piercing kick and using your foot sword. This is kind of the equivalent of your foot sword, is your knife hand. So it's this section of your hand here. This is your knife hand. And from here to here is the striking area. We don't want to use your fingers. We just use this part here. When we make a knife hand, we take our thumb and we tuck our thumb to the side, but we don't touch and we don't tuck underneath. Okay, so it's here like so. You'll notice that you might just be able to see my thumb just here sticking out a little bit. That's okay. For knife hand, that's fine. When we come to do palm upward block or scooping block, we want to take that thumb and we tuck it out of the way so you can't see it. So it looks like a fifth finger. But for knife hand, tucked like that's fine. It's a strong tool. So knife hand's a fantastic tool. And we can condition it quite nicely. Okay, so taking a rock, taking a hard book, and just tapping that tool. It doesn't have, you don't have to hit it so hard that it hurts at the beginning. So this is a type of dalion, okay, pet rock. Okay, I know that some black belts keep their pet rock in the side door of their car. You know, people look at them very strangely when they stop the vehicle at the lights. So you can take your pet rock and do a little bit of conditioning on your hand. So the idea there is, of course, your hand is getting strong. So that if you do strike, knife hand side strike, knife hand outward strike, knife hand inward strike, okay, the tool is strong as it hits the target. So that's your knife hand. Another really good one, and the last one we'll talk about just for today, is your reverse knife hand. Okay, so this time I want you to take your other hand, take the thumb of your right hand and tuck it underneath like this. Now don't touch, once again, don't touch. Tuck your thumb in, okay, but keep it just off your the palm of your hand, your sun badak. Keep it off, so tuck it in, so that way that the side of this hand here has been exposed. And you can't see the knuckle of my thumb. So what we have here is what's called your reverse knife hand. This tool here is your reverse knife hand. Knife hand, reverse knife hand. Now this one takes a bit of conditioning when you want to use it as a tool in real life self-defense or breaking. So, because it's not a part of the arm that we use very often. So I want you to take your left hand now that you've made your tool, keep your fingers together, so you're here like this. Try this on your hand. So you join in with me. You ready? Because I count together. Ready? Let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't go too wide. Just feel the tool. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How did that feel? Did you get your knuckle out of the way? Was your knuckle out of the way? Because if your thumb knuckle's sticking out, it wouldn't have felt very good. So sometimes as well, if you're not very good at tucking it, just roll a little bit with your arm. Roll your arm a little bit over, and that will expose the tool better. So that's your reverse knife hand. Want to try it on the other side? Let's try this side. So let's try your left hand. Okay, so we're here, make a target. So we're here, try, just ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. So we're just trying the tool today. We're not worried too much about the load. It's just feeling what the tool feels like. So if it stung a little bit, you can understand why that one might need a little bit of practice, a little bit of conditioning, okay, to kind of get the sting to start to go away. The more you condition and use the tool, you'll get used to that type of impact. So what did we just talk about? So we talked about 3 tools on our hand. We talked about forefist, okay? So we talked about these 2 foreknuckles on your fist. We talked about knife hand, okay, this part here. And we talked about reverse knife hand, this part here. So 3 really important tools. So we've got our forefist, okay, we've got our knife hand, okay, and we've got our reverse knife hand. All excellent tools in Taekwondo. Try them, have a bit of a practice, push pause, back momentarily. Okay, back again. So our next section for today's lesson is looking at circular block. So we're going to do the inner forearm circular block, which is the most common one that we have in our coloured belt patterns, which we come across for the first time in the pattern 1-yaw tool. So when we're talking about circular block, this is the one we're meaning. Circular block. So we're going to learn from this position. So we're going to form a walking stance, ganansogi, left leg forward. Okay, make sure that you're in a good walking stance. So remember, everything that happens in the upper body with technique, position, all feeds from the ground. So it's like the foundation of a house. A good foundation means that the house doesn't fall over. Good stance means the technique doesn't fall over. So make sure that you're in a good walking stance, make sure your back foot is locked, back leg is locked out, your foot's at 25, that you haven't got this leg, you're not too long in your stance, and your front knee makes a vertical line down to your ankle. Okay, and it's not too wide. So we practice circular block from here. We're using our inner forearm today. Circular block can be done with other tools though. We can do a reverse knife hand circular block, and in some occasions we can even do a knife hand circular block, but not very common, okay, because it only happens in one place, and that's in our senior pattern, our 24th pattern, Tongil. So let's talk about inner forearm circular block, and let's get the application sorted in our head so we understand how it's done. So the application of our circular block. There are 2 possible applications for circular block, Doremi Maki. One is 2 opponents, and we're blocking each one. So the first one, when we come down, starting our hands around about here, okay, so we come forward, we bend our back knee, go into the ball of the back foot to lower our body down. And the reason why we do this is to enable us to scoop a kicking leg, okay, that's coming towards us. So this person is coming from here, they are going to do a front snap kick, a low front snap kick, and we want to deflect that kick. So we're here, we raise our arms up, we come round and we deflect the kick so the person's leg is deflected sideways. And so they land, bam, over here, boom, and we've deflected the kick. So 1, we raise up. Notice that I'm half facing to that opponent. We raise up, and then I drop back down, and I block a second opponent with a middle inner forearm block. Notice that I'm half facing to them as well. Okay, so we're remaining half facing the whole time, not full facing. So we're here, I'm half facing, block the first opponent, my arm is crooked. So we're here, block the person with our inner forearm, their leg is deflected this way. I raise up, and I drop down, and I do an middle inner forearm block and block the second opponent. So that's the first application. Blocking a kick, front snap kick, blocking maybe a punch from a secondary opponent. The second application is an interesting one, which is a very self-defense type situation. So where we hook the leg, we raise and lift the leg, and then we throw the leg at the opponent. So in this case, we would come down, 1, hook that kicking leg, lift it, and then throw it at the opponent. So what this does is it captures their foot, their leg, and throws it towards that opponent. So I'm actually using the first attacker to block or obstruct the secondary attacker. It's quite a nice application. So we're here, catch, lift, and throw. So we go. Notice my breathing with the circular block as well. It's a prolonged breath with an emphasis at the end. So this is from circular block, from walking stance, sorry. We can try the other side. It's the same. So we're here, hands about here, not too far behind you, not behind your body or to the side, just gently in front, around about shoulder height. Bend that back leg again, hands come down in a circular motion. We either block that first opponent, we rise up, middle in a forearm block. Or we hook that opponent, catch it, and throw them towards the opponent, the secondary opponent on the side. Catch, throw. Remember, half facing. Half facing to the first opponent, half facing still to the secondary opponent. How far do we take this hand for that middle inner forearm block? How far out the side? Not too far. Okay, see the back line of my foot? So that back line, the side of my hand really doesn't want to go past that back line of my foot. I don't want to be out here. Here is fine. So we end up here. Notice as well that my body weight is slightly towards my blocking arm. So it's kind of like my arm, my hand, is a little bit lower than my shoulder, is a little bit lower than this shoulder. So it's kind of like a slant this way. Because I'm very open, very exposed this side. So I really want to make sure that this block's going to work. So I put a bit of mass and weight behind it. Okay, so I lean a little bit this way. Now, we can now do it from a spot exercise. So we're doing some fundamental exercise and you can join in. So we do it from the spot. So this time, we're going to step forward with your left leg and do a right circular block. Okay, and then we step back up, and then we step with the right leg and do a left circular block. So you follow me on the count. So you're with me now. You ready? Stepping forward. Hana. And we step back. Stepping forward, other leg. Two. Sit. Hit. Tuss. Yes. Here we go. Yeru. Ha. You. Okay, so that's Dolly Maki, circular block. Don't forget the applications, they're important. You need to know both. Deflect one person, block a secondary person. Second application, hook the kick and lift and throw towards that second opponent. So circular block, not slow motion, normal speed. So you see a lot of people in patterns come up and breathe really slow, make it look slow motion, make it normal speed, don't do anything strange with it, okay? Not shh. Okay, we don't want to see that, just nice and normal, okay? Awesome, we're going to go on to our back piercing kick. Grab a quick drink of water, push pause. Okay folks, this is our last technique for today. We're going to be looking at back piercing kick, Dvicha jirigi. So for our Dvicha jirigi, we're going to be using the same attacking tool that we used for our side piercing kick. Do you remember what that was? So remember, our attacking tool for side piercing kick was the foot sword. So for back piercing kick, we also use the foot sword. So our foot sword, remember, is the side of our foot. Okay, it is that basically about a third from our heel towards our toes is our foot sword. A lot of people think that you do a back piercing kick using the heel of your foot. That's actually incorrect. Okay, so we use our foot sword as General Che outlines inside the full encyclopedia of Taekwondo. So foot sword. Now, when we come to do a back piercing kick, it's best, I think, to learn from ready bending stance B. Okay, so we know ready bending stance A. Okay, so Gobori Yosogi A, which we did when we did our side piercing kick the other day. So we want to do a ready bending stance B this time, which you guys don't really do in your colored belt patterns at all, but is still a really good place to learn to do a back kick from. So your ready bending stance B looks like this. So we stand on one leg. Let's stand on your left leg, okay? And we're going to lift your right leg vertical so that your foot is flat. Okay, so the foot that's up is flat, like you're standing on a platform. The leg that you're standing on, slightly bend your knee. Okay, and now take your hands and bend them to your sides like so, and relax your hips so you're slightly forward. When we come to do the kick, we're going to lean forward even a little bit more. Okay, so the distance of your arms from your sides is about 25 centimeters, so about here. Okay, so this is ready bending stance B. Okay, if I show you from the side, if we're like this, ready bending stance B. One more time from the side, and our eyes are up, and we're looking using our peripheral vision over our shoulder. So I'm not looking directly at the bag, but I can see the bag out of the corner of my eye. Okay, so that's ready bending stance B. So when we come to do a back piercing kick, we need to keep a couple of things in mind. Okay, first, let's go to our ready bending stance. We're here, boom. We're looking over our shoulder. For our back piercing kick, we're going to kick underneath the body. We don't want to lift the leg up to the side and spin like this. We want to keep the leg underneath. So the supporting foot stays facing forward in the direction your body is facing. We turn our head to look over our shoulders, and our leg will push out underneath our body. And as we're kicking, our leg straightens, and you'll notice that the angle of my foot at the moment of impact with my foot sword, my foot is down on a 45-degree angle. So we hit on a 45. Do you remember when we did our side piercing kick and we pushed out from this ready bending stance A, and we lifted our knee and we pushed, the leg rotated as it came out. The same thing happens here. This rotation with the side kick's this way. But when we kick with our back piercing kick, the rotation still occurs, but in the opposite direction. Because we're here with my foot straight up and down, and as I kick this time, the rotation occurs the other way. Okay, so my foot ends up on that 45. So let's try a few kicks. If you haven't got a bag at home, that's okay. We kick the air, but just don't overextend. Just take it easy and think about the technique rather than the strike at the end. Okay, so we're standing here, we come into our ready bending stance B, we take our balance, we're looking over our shoulder, and we extend the leg, come back to here, again, so each time we're kicking, we're trying to keep that leg underneath the body and hit with that 45. If we try the other leg, we should be able to get the same result. A little bit closer. Okay, so our back piercing kick, Dvicha Jirigi, is a great kick because we can use it close quarters, we can do it lunging in from further away, and we can use it to cover distance. It also generates a lot of power because it's a real strong type action. We do this all the time, that type of motion with our legs. So, where do we go to next if we're not doing it from a ready stance, ready bending stance? Here. We can do it from standing, so just from here. So this time we don't do the ready, we just do the kick. Okay, so we just look over our shoulders and kick. The next step is to face the bag and to do it on a turn. So this time we can stand in a guarding block and we do the kick here, turning the body in a spin, kicking underneath and striking at the 45-degree angle with our foot. So we're here, and sometimes you lose the bag. Let's recover it. And one more time. So, as you can see, a strong kick. So let's do some together, okay? So let's try from the bending stance first. I'm just going to turn my back to you and do it straight towards the camera for a moment. You just get the idea. So we're here, and get your balance and come back. Balance. Okay, now let's try again. Your turn. So let's go from the ready bending stance. So we're here and kick. 1 and back. Again. 2 and back. 3 and back. And 4 and 5. You're following along, you're kicking with me, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm going to leave it up to you now to do 10 on your other leg and to do 10 on both legs, but with a spin. So from your L stance. So from here, turn over your shoulder, don't over rotate, knee up, under the body, foot at 45, pull back and land, okay? It's been great being with you again today. It's a challenge training at home by yourself, I know, but we're in this together. And together, by staying at home, we will beat COVID-19. So remember your lessons today. Your hand parts, foreknuckle, knife hand, reverse knife hand we spoke about today. Remember your circular block stuff that we talked about. Inner forearm circular block. So remember the application, 2 opponents, 2 separate blocks. Second application, 2 opponents, grab the first leg, throw it into the second guy. That's pretty cool. And your back piercing kick, Dricha Jirigi. So this stance, remember, really bending stance B, okay, and we're kicking foot at the 45 and kicking from underneath the body. Okay, lots to practice and to think about, right? So, send me messages on our Facebook page. Be really good for some more feedback. If I'm going too fast, going too slow, let me know. I'm a school teacher by trade. I talk too much. So please correct me and send suggestions through or ideas for future classes. And we'll have fun together. Stay posted because today as well, a Tabata will be a separate video and I expect you to join in. So thanks everyone. Stay safe at home. Stay indoors. Stay isolated. Stay with your families. Only go out if you have to. If we don't do this, it could be 5 or 6 weeks before we get back to training and being together in the dojo. I hope to see you soon. I miss you all. Go well. Catch you later. Janet, come here.